Look, tonight's conversation is going to be some very, well, I wouldn't say intense, but very frank because, I mean, campaigns are gradually winding down because tomorrow is the final day. But the big question here, there are a lot of issues that are on the table. The northern vote, a lot of politicians are here talking about how they are jostling for those votes. They're saying this does not have it, this does not have it. Who really has the northern vote? Again, I imagine in my mind that the PVC collection figures is not yet released by INEC, and we're just 2 days to the election. Unbelievable. I don't know when INEC is planning to release that. And one of the interesting things from the conversation that we hear from the Villa today about the security of things in the country gives one assurance that election will go on, because don't forget, around this time, elections are usually postponed. It has happened twice in this country. In fact, on election day, elections have been postponed. But the assurances that we are getting is that Saturday is sacrosanct, and I hope that we keep it at that. But one thing that is also very alarming is the fact that the EFCC, the anti-graft agency, is saying that everyone planning to buy votes or sell votes are going to be in trouble because the EFCC has sent its operatives across the country. What are the plans? They've in fact released hotlines. So if you see anybody buying votes, you have to call the EFCC. They have an app also on which we can report any vote buyer or any vote seller. I guess vote buyers are in trouble. Let's hear from the horse's mouth if there's anything like that. The EFCC chairman, Mr. Abdulrashid Bauer, he joins us virtually live on the program tonight. Thank you so much, Mr. Bauer, for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Sheun. Thank you for having me.
Great, great. This will send some jitters to vote buyers and vote sellers. What is your strategy ahead of Saturday?
Well, the strategy is simple, Sheun. I think there is enough knowledge now to all Nigerians that they are not expected to sell their votes. And of course, the politicians vying for the seats are aware that they are not expected to buy the vote. So our strategy is simple. We want all Nigerians to join hands with us. As you are aware, we are working with all other security agencies in this regard. And then, of course, just as you have said, thank you for that, we have already, issued details of all our men, and of course, we have avenues in which people can, reach out to us across the federation. So we are going all out, just the way that we have done in the last elections, as well as what we have done in Oshun and Ekiti. So the strategy is simple. It is not an EFCC thing. It is a Nigerian thing. It is the citizens of this country that is involved now. And of course, we hope and pray that everybody will join hands with us to ensure that dirty money does not find its way into our electoral processes, as well as, those that are willing to buy votes do not have their way, because we know and we believe that once you allow vote buying as well as vote selling, it will lead to further commissioning of economic and financial crimes. Once that person gets to the seat, you'll be thinking about recouping his money. You'll be thinking about the next election, etc., etc. So I think that is our strategy for now. I will not come out to tell you what we are going to do in details or what we have told our men, but the strategy is for all Nigerians to join hands with us, as well as other security agencies, to ensure that we have a vote buying free elections in 2023.
When anybody remembers that popular slogan or the byline of the EFCC, wherever you go, EFCC will come after you. I don't know how much of your funds and how much of your claws you are ready to display to pounce on the vote buyers. You said you're deploying your operatives. Like the police, we always know their numbers. How many of your operatives are you sending to the field?
All our operatives. We are not many, but we are selling. We are sending, virtually, everybody out there. We are not unaware of the fact that we cannot, cover the entire country. But of course, that is why I said at the beginning that we are working hand in gloves with other, security agencies, as well as, we have provided avenues in which Nigerians can reach out to us. So we are sending virtually everybody that we have. As you know, Shewun, we are a specialized agency. We are not as big as other security agencies in the country, but we are sending virtually everybody on this assignment.
So, Mr. Bauer, if there is anything now, politicians who are preparing to buy votes, they should be worried that your guys are out there. And if there is anything to learn or take from the pilot that you had in Ekiti and Oshun, would you say that you are more prepared considering whatever lesson that you have taken out of those two elections?
Yeah, we're very happy with our history and the knowledge that we have gathered in the last two elections as well as the last general elections. But I think, Shewun, even this year's election is even different. As you know, we have new currencies in circulation now. It is easier to track these currencies by their numbers. Central Bank knows the serial numbers of these currencies as they distributed them across the country. So we even have another, added responsibility this time around, because all the funds that will eventually recover, out there in the field that are being used for the buying of votes, we can actually trace and see, whether these currency are genuinely currencies that are gotten from ATMs and across the counter, or whether somebody somewhere, used them in bulk and gave the politicians the money, because we know that. One of the problems that we are having is that the bankers are actually sabotaging the equitable distribution of these new naira notes. So we are working in all of that, and we are sure that at the end of the day we are going to be successful more than any other time, but this time around because of this issue of new naira notes that we have on board across the country being in circulation.
Tell us about the intelligence that you have. What are those intelligence reports telling you?
Well, the intelligence reports, I'm not going to be here to share all of that. It is for our own internal consumptions, and they are intelligent. They are expected to be used by us to add value to them, to enable us, make meaning out of it. But what we have is that, we have a lot of people that have stock up these new naira notes. They are willing to use them because INEC has more or less nearly perfected its scheme of doing things. The Beavers is going to do, a lot of wonders. So the option that most politicians are having now is to ensure that they buy votes from those Nigerians that are out there, that come out to vote. So they need to maximize the numbers that they have out there. So that is what our intelligence is telling us, and I'm happy that all security agencies are working together towards achieving this common goal and objective of vote-free elections.
So there are talks about governors, some top politicians who are stashing funds. Tell us about that.
Well, Shewun is what it is. Even as of today, I think based on the numbers that we have, we still have over 500 billion of the old naira notes that are yet to be returned back to the central bank. And for the new naira notes, of course, the central bank have through the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting, have printed over 500 billion as well, which of course is out there in circulation. So as I said, we are working. We have our own way of getting, this intel, and God willing, we are going to use them, maximally in this exercise.
I mean, if you can tell us categorically that we still have, you have information, because what we know, or the information we have, is that some of the governors are stashing up funds. Are they still stashing up these funds even when the government says, take these funds to the CBN?
I don't want to Shewun to say governors, but public servants out there, not necessarily governors. They are our leaders. They are doing their best. But I think public servants out there, or some businessmen with questionable characters, are still having these funds out there. But as the law says, at any time they can always bring it back to central bank, for crediting of their own accounts. And Sheun, just as throughout this exercise from October 26 to date, we have not arrested anybody. We have not raised any question regarding who deposited what, where, and how, because we are determined not to cause too much panic within the system. Because one of the cardinal objectives of the policy is to ensure that monies are returned back to the banking system, and that is why we are holding on. We are not eager to start that. Facts cannot change for things that are already within the financial institution. So I don't want to say governors or this, but I will say that public servants, as well as either retired or serving, as well as some businessmen with questionable characters.
So there might be some answers that some people who have returned this money will answer later on, is it?
Certainly. We'll wait and see. But I can tell you that based on our own paper analysis of things, there are a lot of questions that we will ask and that we demand answers for.
For some of those who didn't have enough cash to take, who didn't have any money to take to the bank for exchange, we might be. We might have some good time, isn't it? But that's on the light sort of.
Do you have any shown?
No, that's what I'm saying. I couldn't even take any money to the bank. Not to talk of getting.
You have already taken your own. You are being paid salary, electronically. So which money do you have?
Yes, I mean, really, you know what goes on. You can read every account. But Mr. Bauer, how do you identify who wants to buy votes? And politicians who have given their agents money to buy Pepsi and Coke, because we understand that this is also one of the things that politicians are keeping money on election day, and legitimately, some of them, by law, have been given the chance and the room of how much they can spend. For those who say, oh, this money is for Pepsi and Coke, according to them, or for mobilization, how do you differentiate who wants to buy vote or not?
When we are Nigerians, we are not, aliens. We are not unaware of the fact that even the Electoral Act provided for certain amount of money to be spent by candidates. Sheun, if I may ask, have you ever voted before? Have you ever been to a polling unit to cast your vote?
Yes,
because
I have.
If you have,
I have.
Very clear. It is very clear who is out there to buy Coke, who is out there to buy Akara, who is out there to buy Mama Sheun. And then it is very clear, who's out there to buy votes. I've voted. I have been voting since 2003. So, and I know that some of these things, while you are there, you will see it. Is like a midnight moon. You will see it. It's very clear.
Because Mr. Bauer, because I've covered elections for a long time now, and I can tell you that politicians, because I cover them and I speak with them every time, they are usually one step ahead of the system. When the system hopes to catch those fraudulent politicians, they know how to meander and have their way around. Are you thinking of the possibility of using other means other than cash to buy votes?
Of course, we have intel that a lot of people have bought some items that they want to buy votes in kind, not in cash. So all of these things are out there, Shehu. Now we'll watch out for. Politicians are also Nigerians. They are professionals, some of them that, turn to politicians. We too, we have our own way of doing our own things, Shehu. You reminded me earlier on tonight that the EFCC have a slogan that the EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime. It didn't come by chance. It come by a lot of hard work and dedication of my staff and myself here at the EFCC, and of course, all our predecessors here in the commission. So we have our own way of getting these things. As I said, we have our own experiences in this as well.
On a final note, if there's something that you are hoping that could be a hurdle, perhaps difficult in this task of coming after vote buyers, what could that be?
I think the whole rule is that if Nigerians are not buying into what we are doing, and I think that is the biggest hurdle. But I believe that once we are united in that front, which I believe we should be, because Shewun, as you know, the office of the citizen in Nigerian context, the office of the citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is the most powerful office in this country. And we can all come together to ensure that, look, the people that we are voting into various elective positions, are people of proven integrity, and of higher ethical standard. And the only way you can determine that are those that have, genuinely sell themselves in what they want, they have done or what they will do when they get to the office. Not people that are out there, to demand that you should sell off, your own right to them. Because once you do that, you don't have any right again as a citizen to come and challenge them, once they get into office. So it's a very serious thing that Nigerians should get to know and understand that this issue of vote buying is about our future, is about the future of our country, and it's about the future of the system itself. Because once we have a very good system, that is devoid of all this element of criminalities, no matter how little it is, then of course the sky is the limit. As you know, we are the biggest economy in Africa. We have the potentials. We have the knowledge and education to ensure that this country achieve its own potential. Shewun, there is nothing bad in this country that cannot be corrected with what is good in this country. And I think the biggest challenge is that if the citizens are not buying into what we are doing, and I believe that they are, because based on experiences and based on what you have been doing, in the press, as well as other well-meaning Nigerians, they will all come out and join us in this fight against vote buying.
So I want to paint a scenario for you, and this is not just an assumptive scenario. It is an actual scenario which played out. I'm very certain that a lot of Nigerians are not familiar. Some of them are not, have not even seen the new Naira notes. Just imagine someone throws up a bundle of 500 Naira notes in the midst of 50 people. There will be some people who will be admitted into the emergency section of the hospital tonight because a lot of people will have to jostle. There are scenarios that played out where your men bust a particular place and the community came after your men because they wanted this money. What happened in that kind of scenario, Mr. Bauer? Are you prepared for that?
Well, we are prepared for everything, but as you know, every scenario on ground is different. But I doubt much, except for somebody that just want to cause chaos in the scene. Nobody will just come out and remove a bunch of 500 naira.
No. I was just using that to describe how scarce the money, the Naira notes is right now. It's very scarce. So a lot of people, when you flash it in their faces, they will come after it. Even those who naturally will not want to buy their votes, because the money is scarce, and they go to the bank, they say they cannot get their money, they will be willing to collect. So is the willingness.
The votes too are very scarce, Shewun, this time around. So no politician will waste his money in that regard. He wants to spend his money while he's sure that people are going to vote for him. The issue of scarceness of the funds, I think everybody is aware of it, and everybody is working towards that. And what the government have done in the last few days have demonstrated that they have understood that, and they are coming up with various solutions to this problem. Hence the 200 naira notes that are now extended as a legal tender until the 10th of April. And Shewun, some of these things that we have mentioned, some of these monies also that are printed will all come out this Saturday after the general elections, because some of them are actually hoarded, and then it will be used to be distributed around. Some that we see we will arrest, some that we will not see. Of course, there will be available money in circulation, God willing, and tension will ease out, God willing, after the Saturday general elections.
So your men arrested some folks in Ekiti and Osun. What has happened to these people? Those ones who have been arrested?
We commenced the prosecution of them. Prosecution was on, and I think what happened, we are being told that the last report that I had was that they were struck out because we don't have a fiat of INEC, and we have written to INEC in that regard, to give us fiat for us to continue the prosecution of them. So very soon we are coming back, with that, and we'll continue to prosecute them until justice is done.
So finally, if I see something, how do I say
This is your
something?
third finally, Sheun.
You say what?
This is the third time you are saying finally.
Yeah, I mean, you are good looking. That's why I keep. This is one time. This is one time that. This is one time I can detain you.
Let me be modest.
This is one time. This is one time
tell me something I don't know.
This is one time I have the fear to detain you as here. So, how do I say something if I see something, Mr. Bauer?
When you see something, you say something, and you'll be rest assured that the EFCC will do something. We have the Eagle Eye that we launched about a year or so ago that Nigerians can download on their phones. Millions of Nigerians have downloaded it on their phones. They can take pictures. They can send us the story of what is there, and they should be rest assured that the EFCC is going to do something about that. Right. And we have a social media handles. We have telephones of all the heads of the EFCC team in various states that we have already issued out to the public. So all these are avenues in which you can say something. Right. And then, of course, when you see something, you say something. And then you be rest assured that the EFCC will do something, God willing.
For free, we will be able to help EFCC publish the numbers on our website. And, of course, perhaps before the end of this program, we will put those numbers, maybe in our subsequent programs also, put the numbers out there. Thank you so much indeed, Mr. Bauer.
Thank you very much for putting it for free.
I'll release you without bail. So you have the privilege now, Mr. Bauer. Now that
okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Abdulrashid Bauer, the chairman of the Anti-Graft Agency, the EFCC. Thank you so much indeed for your time.